Rick, can you expand on what you said earlier on the conference call about the physical play of Cornell? I mean, is it a big difference on the bigger ice sheet or not?
It's tough to tell because the teams that we seem to play, St. Cloud and UNH there, we're a little bit different than Cornell. As far as the physicality, Cornell's a naturally physical team. They try to work you down low, and when they have an opportunity to hit you, they're going to hit you. So yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit different in that regards on the Olympic sheet versus St. Cloud and UNH.
Is it an advantage for you guys since you played 4 games on it this season as opposed to Cornell, which hasn't?
I don't think so. We've just had a little bit of experience, but I just think the magnitude of the game is going to overshadow that.
How important is it to have guys that have played in big games? You mentioned Saturday night. Your best players play well in big games, and that's a big advantage. Guys like Carr and Novak lately, and he seems to have a knack for scoring goals. I mean, how big is it to have guys like that that are proven playoff performers and win?
Well, I guess it beats having a bunch of underclassmen playing that game. Experience is a good teacher, I think, with as far as players are concerned. I think it was good for Colin Stevens to get a couple games under his belt, which is nice. But Dan Carr, Max Novak, I thought Matt Bodie had a tremendous weekend as well. So, our upperclassmen, our goaltender, played well. And if you want, some guys playing well, it's nice that it's your upperclassmen.
Besides the physical play, what is it about Cornell that concerns you?
Oh, they've always had very steady specialty teams. They're very well coached. I know that we'll be scouted heavily. I know from what I've read and coached against Mike, he's likes his line matchups. So I guess we'll have to play some reindeer games through the games, so he can expect that. But it's always they're just very well disciplined, and you can just watch on tape that they talk out there. They just do a lot of the little things that you don't see from a lot of other teams.
Do you worry about the guys looking ahead a little bit with the NCAA tournament pretty much locked up?
No, I hope not. It's a pretty serious locker room, and the fact that they know what's at stake here, and they just basically taking it practice to practice and game to game here. They don't get too high or too low, which is nice. And like I said, today's practice was a hard practice, and they brought it even during exam week, which I know is tough for them mentally. But the same token, that didn't affect them one bit today.
Is there a feeling that they want to continue the streak of winning this championship for the 3rd year in a row to kind of keep it going?
Yeah, I'm sure if you asked every person that's been there, they would say, yeah, we want to keep this obviously alive. I mean, I'm not going to give you any big quotes about we play to win the game, Jazz, but it's this is why we're here. These guys battled against a great, I thought it was an excellent Dartmouth team, and I think that was a good test for us. And so hopefully that prepares us here for Cornell for this, and hopefully we can keep this thing going.
On the defensive pair changes, how important was it for Sebastian and Matt to, they played together, as you mentioned earlier in the conference call this afternoon. They had played together down the stretch there when Charlie went down with the ankle injury. I mean, how important was it that to help their chemistry? How much did it help their chemistry this year because they played a few games there last year down the stretch?
It just gave us, the coaching staff plus and the players just basically gave us another option, and it was an option that was a nice option last year to use those guys during the playoff run towards the end of the year. And it's something that we can go to, which we have. But we have no problems, switching back throughout the course of a game, and that's basically Coach Tapp's feel. And that's the faith that our coaching staff has in Jason to make that call.
Do you think the pairings are stronger now than maybe they were earlier in the year because you have a junior And Charlie, working with Noah, freshman, maybe he gained some experience from Charlie?
I'd like to think so. Noah's really stepped up to the plate. He's earned that position, to be in the six. So, with that said, I guess that makes us stronger, 1 through 6, through 6. So, but again, you just got to keep going through these battles. And Olympic sheet, I like Adam or Noah's feet, on the Olympic sheet. So that'll be something to, for him to get used to too.
Last game the refs called a lot of penalties. Do you expect that going into this game that the refs will be calling penalties, or are you going to stick to your original game style?
We're just going to stick to what we're not changing the thing. I really don't have any comments on, obviously the reffing this past weekend. Obviously there's, a call there that was, a guy, someone made a mistake. Big deal. Our bench, our coaching staff, our players never said a word, and it was kind of just a circumstance. I mean, we all make mistakes.
Talk about Daniel Carr's line. They seem to be really clicking over the last 2 weeks and really gelling well together at the right time.
Yeah, again, that line was just kind of thrust together too, with Daniel Ciampini and Mike Vecchione. Just felt they have, we had 2 guys, well actually 3 guys on that line that like to shoot, but also can make plays. And when they're going, they're really fun to watch. And you have some experience there. I think that helps Mike Vecchione just being a freshman. But at this time of year, we're not looking at, we don't have any freshmen on our team because they've been through a lot of battles.
What's going to be the key to beating Andy Isles? You have to get traffic in front of them?
Well, you got to get a lot of traffic in front of them. I think you have to get more than 15 shots on him. I think that's going to be key. That's Olympic sheet. You think you have more room, but sometimes it's closed pretty quickly. And we just gotta keep finding a way to get inside those dots and just get some shots on Andy there. So because he is a tremendous goalie.
Thank you guys.